So just first off, into the portal,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of get reached out with Coach Beat. What's that initial process like?
Yeah, no. So I entered the portal, I want to say late November. I don't remember the exact date, but to your point, the communication was pretty sporadic just because, of how many guys got in the portal. Like, I don't think college football's ever seen anything like it before. And so communication was pretty sporadic. Coach Beatenbow got in touch with me, I want to say a few days before Christmas, and then we just really started building on that relationship. He was able to get me up to campus, I want to say January 4th through the 6th for a visit. But for me on the second day, I'm just one of those guys where I know it in my heart, I don't hesitate,
Right.
The second day after seeing everything, talking to the people I talked to, getting that real genuine feeling and everything, I just knew, went and talked to my mom, we were on the same page. And so I ended up committing on the second day of my visit and then, went home sooner. And so, I was really excited about this decision. I've loved it since I've got here. Great people, great relationships, just being pushed every day. I love the challenge. I love the grind. I really love the uncertainty of this, if anything. For me, I don't know how to describe this. I'd say I'm kind of attracted to adverse situations, and what I mean by that in the context of football is I'm saying, like, the conditioning periods, it's tough, you're on the sideline, heaving your lungs out, you don't know what's going to happen next. It's kind of sick, but like, it's just those situations to me, they're the best, because you really find out what you're made of, what other guys are made of. It really puts things into perspective. And so being here at Oklahoma, I get challenged every single day, but it's something, I thank God that he's given me the courage not to run from. I really embrace every single day and what comes with it. And I really feel like this game will reward you with what you give it, and so I really try and give my all every single day with the faith, what I'm saying, that when it comes time that this game will reward me with, what I've earned, when it's said and done at the end of the year.
When you think Coach Beatenbow in Oklahoma, what were kind of your pre-existing, here's what I think of it, and then
Absolutely.
Once you met Coach Beatenbow, got here, what all added up, what was different, what surprised you?
Truth be told, I was a little starstruck, if I'm being honest, just because growing up for me, Texas, Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry, all that type of stuff. Like, to me, like, from Indiana, that's like the pinnacle of college football. Like, you put that next to like Alabama, Georgia, those crazy schools, and for me, like, even my recruitment wasn't even like that. So for me to really kind of receive that interest at the portal, I was grateful because it kind of allowed me to reflect on the progress I made, coming out of high school. Like, it had been 4 long years of me putting in work. I'm not anywhere near the player I was now that I was coming out of high school. And so to hear, once again, Coach Beatenbow's resume speaks for itself. Like, you come to him, he's going to develop you, and you're going to be one of the best if you buy into it, And after doing my research and talking to him, I just really got that sense that, he's going to challenge me, he's going to push me every day. But for me, like, where I'm trying to go, I really feel like he can help get me there, And so every day I'm going to trust and believe in his vision for me and do everything I can to come out there and just not only, be a great athlete, but be a great teammate. I'm really trying to connect with these guys and build relationships. Like I said, I'm only here for a year, but you'd be surprised how much you can get done in a year, whether it's hanging out with the guys one day, talking to athletic trainers, being with the nutritionists. I'm just really trying to get to know the people in these buildings, know who I'm working with, because I really feel like that's how those strong bonds really keep you guys together in the fall when things get rough, when the season starts going,
Coming from Big Ten country,
Yeah.
not often that you roll out OU Texas first, right? It's usually the game, right? So for you, what was that like growing up as far as just college football as a whole? Not being so honed in on just Big Ten
Absolutely.
football?
No, yeah, man. I've been a football fan all my life. I remember, like, as soon as I was like 4 or 5, Mom put the ball in my hand and it stuck. I started playing tackle football. I want to say I was in the 4th grade, started out a running back, if you guys can believe that. But eventually, I want to say the year after that, I had a big growth spurt, and then they moved me to D-line, and then I've just been kind of rolling in the trenches since elementary school. But to your point, college football is a huge deal for me. Like I said, Indiana native, so a lot of IU and Purdue. Then you had Michigan, Ohio State just up north, You had Notre Dame, even in Indiana. So there's a lot of rich college football tradition, obviously, within the Midwest, if you look at it as well. But to your point, though, obviously, like, as a college football fan, I pay attention to it all. Obviously, I watched the Big 12, I watched the SEC, ACC, so I was pretty familiar, Obviously, I knew who Oklahoma was, Like I said, when they got my phone, I had to take a minute, and, it was, like I said, like, I was starstruck, all of this, it's pretty new to me, but I'm just trying to do my best to take it day by day and really remember why I came here, which is to work. And so once again, I'm just beyond thankful to Coach Venables and Coach Beatenbow for giving me the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, like, they say talent is distributed evenly, but opportunity isn't. And basically what that means is sometimes people just need an opportunity, they need a chance. You know, for me, I was sitting in the portal and everything. I just needed someone to believe in me. And I'm beyond grateful it was them. And so, you know, I'm like I said, I'm just trying to come in here and show them I'm really serious about my development. And, you know, that I'm really trying to come in here. And it's not only what I can get from them, but what I can give to them as well. My hope is, you know, with all the games played, I can bring some veteran experience in here, help mentor along and be there for the younger guys as well, and really try and leave a positive impact, you know, in the 1 year I'm in here for. So.
To kind of talk about that veteran leadership.
Absolutely.
You, Walter, are kind of coming in as big transfer pieces from bigger schools.
Yes, sir.
What kind of relationship have you been able to forge with him, and how are you guys tackling not only the leadership aspect of this team, but being a fresh face on such a big program?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, first of all, I'd say the leadership, first of all, guys like McCade and Andrew, they've done a great job with the leadership, you know, with all the guys that left and everything. They've done a great job holding it down. Don't get me wrong, with experience, you know, we do have some experience, but once again, we've never been here. Just like me, we had to come in here. We've just been trying to figure things out. I'd say to your point where the experience kind of comes in is just being a professional. If anything, if anyone wants to look at me, I want to try and be the best example of how to be a professional, how to come in this building on a daily day and handle your business, stay out of trouble, understand, you know, take advantage of the great opportunities that are here. Like what they got going on here is really rare. I haven't really seen this anywhere else, you know, and so I feel like, to your point, the best thing I can contribute as an older guy is really to just come in here and be a professional every day, do things the right way, you know what I'm saying, at all times. And when I can, you know, if the younger guys have a question or anything, just not even football related, but just about growing up, mental health in this sport, all the big issues that us as college athletes tackle, if I can just kind of be a positive, sound piece of encouragement for them, you know, I really want to try and do that.
For sure. And
So, go ahead.
to kind of talk about Walter in that aspect,
Yeah.
what have been some of your first impressions from him? And,
Yeah.
and how have you kind of noticed him taking on that leadership?
Absolutely. I love Walter, and I think he's actually quickly stepping into a leadership role. The thing about Walter, man, is he's going to get it done every time, you know. He's going to show up on time, but not just going to show up. He's going to be engaged. He's going to be focused. He's going to do what he needs to be done. He's not there to waste his time, and he knows they're not there to waste his time. Obviously, he's dealing with that injury, but it was like I was telling him, you wouldn't have even noticed it because the way he just comes in, prepares. Anything he can do, he does. He'll do hurdles with us, you know, just keeping his arm close to him or doing whatever, or he'll be in the training room. I try and be in the training room every day. I see him in there every day, putting in the work, the rehab. Like, he's putting in the work to be back and be successful. And so I have nothing but respect for the way he's been preparing himself since we've been here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops over the course of the year.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, Carmel, technically about 30 minutes north, but yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kyle Neddenrip?
Yes, sir. Familiar with him. Great guy. Great
He's
guy.
one of my
Absolutely.
good friends,
Yes,
so
sir.
of course
Great
it's
dude.
Star.
Very familiar with him.
When you were a freshman in college, your first year, when you were a young guy, some of these young guys coming in, what was the message that the older upperclassmen told you, and how are you trying to reciprocate that to these young kids today?
They were just telling me to be myself, man. You know, like college, with the way college football has evolved kind of these past few years, especially with the way, you know, media and everything's kind of got involved in it. I feel some players really feel pressure to sometimes be something they're not because they feel like they have to put on some type of front or present themselves some type of way to people. But for me, my older guys coming in at Miami, Danny Godlewski, Tommy Doyle, Jared LaRubio, like Donovan White, great guys. Basically, they just told me to be myself, you know what I'm saying? They knew when I came in, you know, I was a hard worker and I really wanted to try and earn everything I got, you know, in the program. They just told me the way to really be able to handle being a good college football player and a great person is to just be yourself. And so at the end of the day, they told me when you make a mistake, you own it, you don't run from it, you know, be accountable. If you mess something up, go back and do it right. You know, it's just like where I'm from, like Indianapolis, you know, where I'm from, you don't make excuses, you get it done, you know. And so that's really the type of mentality I try and come in with every day. But at the same time, I'm gonna be myself, you know. I'm not a robot. I'm an athlete, but I have personality, I have feelings, you know. I have wants, interests, and needs just like every other citizen in this country, you know. And so my big thing has kind of been managing, you know, my love for ball with outside interests as well, and just making sure I can remain a well-rounded person, you know.
You mentioned something really interesting earlier. Being a big tough guy, it's okay to address mental health.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you just how important is that to stress that to everyone, that mental health is a big part of your physical being, especially even if you're a Division I football player.
Absolutely. Mental health is everything to me. Like, personally, as someone who's actually struggled with mental health a few times, specifically in college, it just showed me the value in, you know, really reaching out to people as, you know, males especially, but if we want to take it a step further, black males especially, mental health is not something that it's not encouraged, you know, to speak speak about. You know, they tell you to stay quiet, don't say anything, you know, or you're soft if you speak out. Like, I'll be honest, last year I really had to learn that it was healthy to cry. It was healthy to display emotion, you know. That was something I struggled with for so long, crying, showing emotion, you know, because it was always viewed as weakness. But for me, it's so much harder, and it almost keeps you bitter, trying to hold all those, you know, hard things that happen to us in life. Life is going to be hard. We're going to go through so many things, but you shouldn't be told get over it and suck it up. There should be avenues of people or systems and programs that are out here that are able to help you and actually support you and let you know, no, I see you, I hear you, and what you're going through is not invalid regardless of your socioeconomic status or all these other things. Like, you matter and your problems matter. And so to your point, like, one of the big things I definitely want to do, hopefully once I leave Oklahoma, is I would love to open up my own foundation for mental health geared towards that specifically and what I went through. You know, obviously there's, you know, suicide's a big and horrible thing in this country. You know, it's taken out a lot of people my age especially, and if there's anything I can do with my platform or resources, it's to help and kind of be a lifeline to other people who are exactly in my situation. So,
how impressed are you with the holistic approach that Coach Venables does with the Soul Mission and everything here in Oklahoma? Was that another thing that...
It was a huge reason why I came here. A huge reason why I came here. Soul Mission has honestly been life-saving, not only to me, but I can tell the rest of these guys. A big thing people don't talk about is how to prepare athletes past just the sport. You know, because for 4 or 5 years, your hand is attached to that ball or whatever you play. But when you get thrust into the real world and it's time to get a job and whatnot, you'd be surprised how many college athletes are kind of left handicapped in a sense, you know, professionally, because you didn't have things like Soul Mission to really be able to show them how to prepare a resume, how to conduct yourself in public, you know, how to network professionally. You know, these little things that really matter and kind of determine your professional outcome. And so that was a really big reason why I came here. And credit to Ryan Young, Curtis Lofton, Mrs. Zoo, Caleb Kelly, and all the other people that really had that stuff up. They've done an extremely good job. And I already signed up for both service trips and the internship. So I really plan to take full advantage of this thing while I'm here, and, you know, and see what opportunities it leads to.